In an ancient text known as the Testament of Solomon, there lies a tale of how Solomon subdued demons, compelling them to serve him. This account is narrated from Solomon's own viewpoint. During the construction of the temple in Jerusalem, Solomon observed a young man, the son of the lead builder. This youth was notably skilled, prompting Solomon to raise his wages and provide him with more food than his peers. Despite these efforts, the young man grew increasingly gaunt, weak, and pale. Solomon, concerned, summoned him to inquire about his condition. Initially hesitant, the young man eventually confessed, "I don't know if you'll believe me, O king, but something strange has been happening to me. Every night when I go to bed, something comes and sucks my right thumb and steals my food. I feel it is taking away all my strength. And I believe it is an evil spirit." Moved by this revelation, Solomon returned to his palace, deeply pondered the matter, and sought wisdom from ancient texts. He prayed fervently for a solution to free the young man from this demonic influence. After several days, an angel appeared to Solomon, bearing a ring with a stone. Engraved upon the stone was the Pentalpha, encompassing the ineffable name. The angel instructed Solomon on how to use the ring. The following morning, Solomon called the young man and entrusted him with the ring, advising, "Take this, and tonight, when the creature comes, cast the ring into its bosom and say, 'In the strength of the name, King Solomon calls you. Then rise and come running to me. And do not be afraid of whatever the demon may say to you.'" That night, as expected, the vile demon Ornias entered the young man's chamber to suck his blood and steal his sustenance. Remembering Solomon's words, the young man threw the ring at the demon and declared, "Come, for Solomon calls you," then swiftly ran to Solomon's palace. The demon bellowed after him, "Boy, what have you done? Take the ring from me and I will give you the hidden gold of the earth. Take it off and do not bring me before Solomon." Ignoring the demon's pleas, the young man rushed into the palace, exclaiming, "O king, the first have brought the spirit as you told me. He is there before the door, screaming and promising me the hidden treasures of the earth, if I do not force him to come to you." Solomon rose from his throne, went to the courtyard, and saw the demon, now a quivering, shrinking flame. Solomon stood over it and demanded, "What is your name?" It answered, "Ornias." Solomon commanded Ornias, with the power of the ring, to disclose how he could be subjugated. The demon revealed his dwelling, how he tormented men, and answered all of Solomon's questions. Solomon then sealed him with the ring and assigned him to cut stones for the temple construction. After contemplating the next steps, Solomon summoned Ornias once more and handed him the ring, instructing him to bring forth Beelzebul, the prince of all demons, to stand before him. Ornias went to Beelzebul, found him on his throne, and said, "Solomon calls for you." Beelzebul scornfully replied, "Who is this Solomon of whom you speak?" Ornias cast the ring into Beelzebul's bosom and said again, "Solomon calls for you." Beelzebul roared and cast forth a great flame of fire, but had to rise from his throne and follow Ornias to stand before me. When I saw him, I thanked the Most High for giving me power over the demons. I spoke harshly to Beelzebul, and he promised to bring all the demons before me, making them subject to my commands. I appointed him to saw marble blocks for the temple's construction. When the other demons saw their master laboring like a slave, they were terrified. I then summoned many chief demons one by one and questioned them about their deeds, what diseases they caused, what secrets they knew, and how they could be subdued. After they answered, I bound them and set them to work on building the temple. The demons appeared in various forms, one as a beautiful woman with a donkey's hoof for a foot, another as a man without a head, with a flame of fire coming out of his neck, another as a large dog. I bound the headless man and the dog together, and the dog's flame of fire provided light to the workmen at night. There were also dragons, one with 3 heads and another with a man's head. Another demon had a face that shone with a green light, hair like serpents, and a body of darkness. Yet another was a dark man with shining eyes and a drawn sword, claiming to be the spirit of an ancient giant who perished in the flood. Some demons had no visible form, only voices. Over all of them I had dominion and assigned them tasks, carrying water, making ropes, melting gold and silver, and lifting stones. With their help the temple was built quickly, and I, Solomon, enjoyed great honor, peace and tranquility in my kingdom. Kings and princes from all around visited me, bringing precious gifts, and my kingdom was greatly exalted. One day, while sitting on my throne in the palace with Ornias the demon standing by me, an old man, one of my workmen, came before me. He cast himself down and cried for justice against his son, who mistreated him, beat him, and plucked out his hair. I had pity on the old man and sent for his son. The son denied the accusation, saying, "I am not so wicked as to strike my father. I have done no such evil." I sent him away and called the father again, urging him to reconcile with his son. But the old man insisted on his son's death. Perplexed, I was about to judge against the young man when I saw Ornias laughing. I asked him why he laughed, and he replied, "Forgive me, O king. It was not at you that I laughed, but at this wretched old man. He is plotting his son's death, but his son will fall sick and die in 3 days." I asked Ornias if this was true, and he confirmed it. I then told the old man and his son to strive for reconciliation and return to me in 3 days, providing them with food from my table. They obeyed and left. After 3 days, the old man returned in mourning, saying he had buried his son that day. I asked Ornias how he knew these things. He explained that spirits can fly up into the air and overhear the decrees from the heavens about men's fates. When they fall from the sky, people mistake them for falling stars. In those days, I received a letter from King Adaris of Arabia, who was in desperate need of assistance. He spoke of a venomous wind that swept through his lands at dawn, killing people and cattle alike. King Adaris promised tribute and peace if I could capture the spirit behind this deadly wind. I took the letter and gave it to my chief counselor, instructing him, "Bring it to my remembrance in 7 days for several days." I thought earnestly about this troubling matter. Finally, an idea took shape in my mind. I summoned a servant and instructed him to prepare a camel and an empty wineskin. This wineskin was peculiar, for it had the upper parts of the 4 legs remaining, carefully sewn up, leaving the neck open. I handed the ring to the servant and said, "Go to Arabia, to the place where this venomous wind blows. Use this ring to capture the demon within the wind." The servant departed on his mission, and in due time he succeeded. He used the ring as instructed, capturing the malevolent spirit within the wind. With the demon confined, the deadly wind ceased, bringing great relief to the people of Arabia. King Adaris, grateful for this deliverance, sent gifts and tributes, and there was peace between our lands. Upon the servant's return, I took the captured demon, known as Ephippus, and tasked him with a mighty endeavor. I commanded him to lift a heavy stone for the temple's construction. Ephippus, using his otherworldly strength, accomplished this feat and went further, bringing another powerful demon from the depths of the Red Sea to assist him. Together they hauled a great pillar. However, their combined power made me uneasy. Fearing what they might do, I trapped them both in the air, where they remain to this day, holding the pillar aloft. This sight is now visible as a constellation in the sky, likely what we call the Milky Way. During this time, I learned more about the demon from the Red Sea. This creature had once opposed Moses in Egypt and had aided Pharaoh's magicians. He had been imprisoned in the sea until Ephippus freed him. With these demons under my control, my kingdom prospered greatly. Yet, in my later years, my heart was led astray. I fell in love with a Jebusite woman who insisted I worship her gods. To win her hand in marriage, I reluctantly offered worship to Moloch, a false god. This act of apostasy caused me to lose my wisdom and glory. I built temples for these false gods, abandoning the true path and becoming a cautionary tale for future generations. I have written this testament to remind all who read it to consider their end as well as their beginning. Reflect upon the choices you make and the paths you follow, for they will shape your destiny. I hope you have learned something new from this tale. Please subscribe to our channel, like, and comment so that we can continue to bring you more stories and improve the quality of our content. I read all the comments and love hearing everyone's perspectives. May God bless you.